everybody, it's Scribs. Welcome back to a new video. This week we are trying out Art Studio Pro. I think this is going to be the last, trying out other art programs for now, because I can't get Paint Tool SI, even though I really want to, because I don't have a Windows computer, and I can't really think of anything else to try out. I guess there's one more thing to try out, and I used to use it back in the day when I first started off in art, so it would be great to see how far I've come. But we're going to get into it. When you first open the app, you have options to do a payment plan, and I like the price point. I think it's a pretty good price point. $6.99 a year is not at all bad compared to I guess other stuff. I'm not really going to be keeping the subscription or anything, because I've run into something that is a major factor for me when I want to work in a art program, and that's the sketching. It feels so much different than when I work in Procreate or even IBIS Paint. I keep saying IBIS Paint, I'm so sorry. When I press, it still feels like I'm pressing way too hard, and I end up putting too much pressure on my wrist, and putting pressure on your wrist is not good for any artist to do. So I did try to sketch out some stuff. I had a bit of fun, and then I was really gonna give up, and I was I'm not even going to work in the app anymore. In fact, I even deleted it off of my iPad, but I've decided today that I'm going to work in it again, and this time I'm going to sketch in Procreate or sketch in IBIS Paint, and then I'm gonna go back in and color in Art Studio Pro instead. That way I still give the website. That way I still give the app a fair shot, as fair as possible. I think that the main thing right now is my wrist, and along with, I'm supposed to try Adobe Fresco. I'll also try Adobe Fresco, I forgot. But the main thing is, with my wrist right now, it's having how do I explain? So basically, my wrist has been having a little bit of issues because I have been putting a lot of pressure on it with the stuff I have. So when I hold my iPad when I sleep, when I hold my phone when I sleep, I was making sure that it would work for me, if that makes sense. Right now, the only problems besides the sketching that I have with Art Studio Pro is I don't know how to change the background color of the what's it called? The canvas, which I feel sounds very stupid, but I don't know how. And so that's something that I find really important. I like to not work with stark white, just because my eyes, I don't want to strain my eyes, and I'm very sensitive. I'm very light sensitive. And then another thing, I think there's a lot. There's it's simple, but it's also hiding a lot, and I feel it's not that easy to figure out what some stuff are or how to use certain stuff. I feel there needs to be more of a guide out there. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty good. I really like that there's an option to do realistic painting. Maybe that's what I needed to work in order to not put so much pressure on my wrists. I'm gonna try that now. No. That's not it at all. It's having the same issue, I think. Also, why is it so big? How do I... Okay. Yeah, it still feels like I'm pressing very heavily. In fact, it's even worse. Yeah, it feels a lot better when it's not that, but still feels unnatural. There's because there's no tip that you press down on, I think Art Studio Pro would probably be better on the, what's it called? The, drawing tablet as opposed to a display tablet. Or it would be better on a display tablet as opposed to an iPad or something, if that makes sense. So yeah, I used it on the computer at one point. I don't know exactly what pieces I had drawn in it, but I do remember drawing in it. So if I did remember, I would show you, because I have it somewhere, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, in my beginning, I worked in Art Studio Pro actually, and I was pretty just feeling the FOMO, so I ended up switching to I think Clip Studio Paint. I ended up saving up money to get Clip Studio Paint. Some other things that were really complicated was like selecting tools in this, or like selecting my drawing and then trying to move it. And it was like things aren't as straightforward because you can go to the selection tool and then you have to press a different button to deselect instead of just pressing like the same button that you did to select like it is in Procreate. And also, I don't know why, but using the lasso tool felt very different and a lot more difficult. So it really just isn't the program for me. I feel like I failed because I didn't really end up drawing in it as much. But other than that, I think like other people like it, especially because it has a lot of the features that Clip Studio Paint has or that like other programs have that Procreate is missing. But I'm just so used to Procreate right now that I was thinking about implementing this into my routine for certain stuff, but it looks like the Ibis Paint is just going to be what I want to use otherwise because of the brushes, but not Art Studio Pro. It's just not for me, but I think it would be good for people who don't like Procreate or don't or can't afford Clip Studio Paint. Yeah. Okay, bye.